Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brother Devin, uh, also known as Tiger 4161, formerly known as Tiger 4161, aka Davy Claymore Hawkins. And tonight is what is Eastern heterosexuality? That's the lecture for tonight. Um, since since I don't since I'm not looking androgynous right now. I'm looking retrosexual. I'm gonna use this avatar and let's pretend I'm wearing what it's wearing. You know, with the little bow tie and the top hat. Okay, so the title of this lecture is "What is Eastern Heterosexuality?" and its esoteric nature. When I say esoteric, I mean spiritual. I mean, I, I could I could go longer into it, but I don't want to make it that long of a YouTube video. Excuse me. So, with that being said, let's get started. Okay. Alright. What is Eastern heterosexuality? Breaking it down without the long story short. Yeah. Breaking it down, keeping the long story short, excuse me. Breaking it down, keeping the long story short. Eastern heterosexuality is those of us men who are in tune with their feminine side, and it is those of us who are conscious. We are of the Aquarian age. Um, um, we are also referred to as the Aquarian men. In the in the Bible, Jesus tells his disciples who to follow next. And his words simply were, follow the man with the water pitcher. Now, we are not in the age of the Aquarian, the age of we are not in the age of Aquarius yet. We are just at the we are at the peak of it. Okay? We haven't fully made it yet because not all of the globe has uh, awakened to who they are, what they're supposed to do, and awaken to their full potential, which also meaning to have and protect their own inner strength. I'm speaking specifically. Okay? Eastern heterosexuals, we are non-judgmental, non-critical, non-negatively critical. Okay, let me say that again. we are non-judgmental, non-negatively critical, and we are non-biased. However, we are also aware that those of us Eastern heterosexuals, that may be feminine straight men, androgynous men, and in this case, when we say androgynous, we mean naturally androgynous. And other referring to the term of bisexual. And of course, your black gay men are considered are considered Eastern homosexuals. However, I'm gonna break down everything that I'm saying here. Okay, so what you have to understand, like I said in my previous video, West and Eastern heterosexuality, I simply stated that us Eastern heterosexuals we are born in this Western civilized culture, but we are not of it, because our philosophy is completely different than Western society. Western society. Okay. Well, all right. Let me be more explicit. In other words, straightforward and blunt. Okay. Western heterosexual culture, they believe in unconditional love out of convenience. Okay. They do not approve of homosexuals nor homosexuality. Okay, they do not like they do not accept and approve of people who are men who identify themselves as heterosexual, but excuse me, I got the hiccups. But they are aware that they have a feminine side, and the reason for men having feminine sides is because biblically in the Bible, in the book of Jeremiah, it says that the Creator knew us before we were aware of its it knew us before it was aware of its consciousness. Okay? Excuse me. If I hiccup again, I'm just gonna repeat some of the words I said. So, what we have to what we have to understand is that we are, excuse me one second. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry for the sorry for the interruption, family. Dog was barking. All right. So, as I was saying, what we have to understand, overstand, and higher stand, and ultra stand, and ultra higher stand. There we go. Well, we have to understand. Well, we have to understand, overstand, higher stand, and ultra understand, and ultra higher stand is that Western heterosexuals are spiritual, but from the external aspect, meaning that they meaning that they 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 learn spirituality and internalize spiritual knowledge from literature and things outside themselves via all exoteric religions, via Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, etc. Okay, and when it comes down to Western heterosexual relationships, let's face the fact that as black people, I know this sounds like I'm critiquing, but I'm just giving my information the way that it's laid out inwardly in my soul. So I know this sounds critical, but Western heterosexuals cannot function simply due to the fact that they depend on ideas and institutions such as religion to bring them to a higher state of awareness. Okay? Whereas Eastern heterosexuals, we, just like Western heterosexuals, we are born conscious because we understand that God lives within all of us. Our and at that time, we may not logically know that, but our has our soul has a mind. The soul star body, the soul star chakra is not just a wheel. It's also a it's also a a a energy. It's also a energy of vibrational intellectual light. That is what the soul is. So, where does the soul come from again? The sun. And according to religious literature, the the Jesus Christ has a sun disk over his head. And with that being said, that represents God. The sun is the physical manifestation of God. As well as the moon. Mother God symbolizes earth, nature, and so does so does she, representing the sun, moon, and the stars. It's just different variations of it's just different variations of the same thing. So this is the thing about us Eastern heterosexuals. We are a spiritual people. We do use logic. Logic is very important to the human conscience. For without a conscience, you have no awareness of what is high, low, rea, rea, I'm sorry, reality, illusion, high, low, left, right, positive, negative, and last but not least, mundanely, good and evil. Okay? So, again, Eastern heterosexuals, we are basically free thinkers, even if it means that we have to respond to you critically. However, we are positive critical thinkers, because we can get you to see things in a more positive critical way without actually harming your intellect and your spirit and soul, which gives reference to your emotional state. Okay? Eastern heterosexuals um, the majority of us do not really care for politics. However, since we are aware that um, the universal law is for us to have not only love but free will, it is fair enough to say socially and politically that we have the right to difference of opinion as um, Americans and those of us that are foreigners around the world. Being as though this lecture is going to go all around the world, not just in America. Okay. Um. Again, Eastern heterosexuals are a spiritual people. Now, instead of calling this a prophecy, um, well, we can call this a form of reality. You will have Eastern. You will have Eastern heterosexuals going to church. You will see Eastern heterosexuals becoming Islamic, Jewish, Hindu, excuse me, Hindu, etc. Okay. Um, However, these beings, some are already here. They just don't know that they are Eastern heterosexuals because the term is just coming into this third dimensional reality. So the idea of Eastern heterosexuality is new, but the lifestyle of it is of eons old. Okay. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm being myself, but then I'm channeling at the same time. I'm channeling Sebastian. Um, Now, I want to say this also. Um, I bet you're wondering if Eastern heterosexuals, as well as homo as well as homosexuals, can we, but staying on the subject of Eastern heterosexuals and heterosexuality, can we get involved in politics? And the answer is yes. Politics is not meant for everyone. Everyone's political stance is different. Some of us may be Democrats. Some of us may be Republicans. Some of us may be so smart as to go into Congress and deal in local and state government. Okay, but as a as a as a semi-majority, I should say, these ones are re- republic. These Eastern heterosexuals that are coming into this third dimensional reality, they are Republicans, and these are proactive Republicans. And from what my spirit guide overstands is that the reason why the Republicans can't shape the world in the way that they want to is because the powers that be has has their hook upon their strings, if you know what I mean. So they are being enslaved to do what the powers that be ask them to do. Okay? Right now, Republicans, the Republicans you see on this plane, they are they are just they are but of cancerous socialism. You know, there's meaning there's constant talk, no action. All right. However, these Eastern feminine heterosexuals, these androgynous heterosexuals, okay, these are very proactive, and they have the same spiritual they have, well, it's not the same, but they have a similar cosmic consciousness as a homosexual would. Okay. Some cosmic energy has been released into the world, the universe, and within the next 48 hours, the Earth will be affected by what is to come. So 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, 12 o'clock a.m. Western time will be the peak of feminine and androgynous heterosexuality. We even invite more gays into the Aquarian age. Rise, unicorns, rise. That's all I gotta say. You know. Shine, unicorn, shine. Let the love of the ultra infinite creator shine within, outside, and all around you, surrounding other people who may and may not understand your sexual preference, and if not, then that is fine too. But one thing these beings on Earth must understand and respect using simple logic, and that's the simple fact that you're human. Okay? So, again, these new beings, these new star seeds that are coming into Earth, some most will have a earthly purpose, as we all do here on this plane, since we made the agreement to have mundane identities that we created for ourselves. Some will be your musicians, your construction workers, and they will even build these forms of new ideas, okay, for 3D. All right, I and my feminine heterosexual council, as well as the androgynous heterosexual council, and my ancient Egyptian gay council, have put this into effect already as we speak. Praise the infinite Mother and Father Creator, and the high councils. We give you thanks, and your gratitude and love is more than just enough. Okay. Um. No, notice. I don't worship. I just give divine honor, because I'm supposed to. People want to throw this idea of being a god, but they're not humbling themselves, because in order to be a true god, you have to have humility. Okay, and when you have humility, it shows the level of maturity that you have to the creator or the creators of the multiverse, okay, and the universe, okay. All right. So, on a mundane level, you have Eastern heterosexuals who are Republicans, not Democrats. They say nope, no Democrats, because for one, we know that democracy doesn't exist. Democracy is just a experimental idea to negatively divide nations. Okay? And sin and slavery created for the concept of religion is used to control. Peep what I'm saying here, okay? So, again, you have your Eastern heterosexuals that are Republicans. They are Republicans. They are your artists. your painters and musicians. They are your stylists, your barbers. Okay. Um, then again, most of them have Eastern spiritual paths, not Western, because they have Eastern spiritual paths because what Western spirituality is, it is of man. It is not of the Creator, and it's not the true function of of multiversal nature, because the same way that the universe moves is the same exact way that the multiverse moves. Yes, just like our brains, even the planets that other people live on are different, but they all move under the same vibration, okay, and frequency. These beings are high. These beings are high dimensional beings. Some may think that these beings have ADD and ADHD. Let me say that again, so nothing is misconstrued. Now, some people on this planet may think that these beings have ADD, ADHD, and we will acknowledge that some even may be born with cerebral palsy, just like moi here. Okay, but know that nothing is wrong with them. So do not be ashamed. Okay, do not be ashamed. It is, and I'm speaking to the parents of these children. Okay, it is because they are acting and being in tune with their higher reality. Their physical mind may not understand what's going on. That is, unless you give them the mundane materialistic tools to show them this is why they're acting the way that they are. So again, let me repeat that their physical mind may not know what they're doing, and why they're having these basic instincts, but their intuitive mind is controlling the physical body. It is the spirit body and the higher spirit body that is puppeteering the physical body. Okay? Pay attention, parents. This is very key. Okay? All right. So again, you have your you have your Republicans, librarians, police. You will have feminine, heterosexual, and androgynous heterosexual people. As your government and state officials. okay, your police officers, your troopers, your firefighters, your doctors. However, they won't they these are rebellious humans that are coming into 3D, and these humans will come out of Mars as well as Sirius, Orion, Pleiades, Arcturus, Pluto, uh, Trappist 1A through E. Okay, the these are the rebels and the radical star seeds, the star seeds of change. Some of us are already here, but here's the issue with that. We 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 have a we have a we have a let go and give in mentality. These beings that are coming are going to be uncontrollable. They're going to be adaptable. Yes, they're going to adapt to this world and society. But once they discover who they truly are from within, they will be unstoppable, because the 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 factual truth of the matter is, once you know who you are, the unconscious society, which is the Western again, they will not be able to withhold your the way you are to the way you excuse me, they will not be able to withhold the way you artistically display your outside appearance, and they will not be able to shut down your physic your literal logic, okay, and they will not be able to shut down your spiritual and your solar logic, okay. You will These beings will be the kind of beings to make people shut up, okay. And yeah, they'll be the type of superhuman beings to make other beings be quiet. I'm 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 one of them, and there are a few more that are like me that are already here, but is going to get worse for the unconscious. But out of love and understanding, we will be able to teach you how to come back into fifth, sixth, and higher consciousness. Okay? Yeah. All right. And you will even have your, what we like to call, the super psychologists and psychiatrists. And these star seeds are also feminine straight men, masculine straight women, as well as androgynous straight men and women. Now, let me break down the two perceptions of androgyny. The first the first perception of androgyny, or should I say more plainly, the first idea of androgyny is that of a divine nature via bisexuality. Yes, that is present, and that is also taking place from the androgynous heterosexual nature. However, and furthermore, the second term of androgyny is that which is of consciousness. So in this case, y'all, a man might identify himself as straight, but he is in touch with the aspect of him that is female. I tell you, do not try to socially nor politically correct these beings, because the energy that I have given them and they have given back to me, which I think is a retaliating spirit. Okay, these beings will fight you, and for some the fight will be verbal, but for them as a whole, they will fight through proaction. Okay, and when they fight, they will win, because as I said, they have a similar conscious to the homosexuals. Like I said, I didn't say the same. I said they have a similar conscious to the homosexuals. The only difference is that their energy and their thought process is more rapid. And for those of you that might be wondering, will these be starseed indigos, crystal children, indigo children, rainbow children, rainbow warriors, okay, light workers, light warriors? And the answer is, to all of them, absolutely yes. Okay? That's a strictly definite beneficial yes. Okay? Alright. Furthermore, these beings are sunflarians. Okay? The sunflarians are those of a pyro, yeah. They are of a pyrokinetic awareness, fire beings. Okay, you have some that are uni-fire beings, because I'm a uni-fire beings, and then you have some that are a duo fire beings, a double fire being, okay? So, be careful. Be careful when be careful when you try to make them do things that you want them to. Okay? Now, let me first state, it'll only work for the children who know themselves. If they don't, then they have no choice but to comply. Okay? Now remember, excuse me. Hold on. Alright, excuse me again. Alright, now remember, you heard this first on Dr. Harmony Television. Okay? AKA the Tiger 416 1 channel. Okay? Now as far as understanding, some will get it, some won't. Some will feel like it is some won't approve of their sexualities. So when that happens, they're going to lean towards people that actually accept and approve of their preference. And to accept and approve of someone's preference is to be comfortable with their reality. It's to be comfortable with their nature. Just like y'all Western heterosexuals have a problem with those of us that not only imitate the image of Michael Jackson, Prince, and Terrence Trent D'Arby, but those of the beings who are naturally androgynous. I'm talking about the gays, okay, and yeah, the gay men and the lesbians. So some of you may have androgynous straight children, as well as those who are androgynous too, but logically they're only aware that they're just aware that they can only adapt to their feminine nature. They're in their own psyche, they feel that their masculine side, as far as the men, okay, they feel that it's abusive, because some of these children might be impulsive, okay, and each child has their own zodiac. So whatever month and day they're born is who they are. And in the near future, I'm gonna be making another video in reference to this, because I'm gonna try to get some zodiac books that because I'm into astrology, and I'm gonna get some zodiac books that reference a person's month and the date that they were born, and whether they were born in the daytime or night, and what kind of energy they are, and all that other stuff. So these are actual rainbow children, okay? It's just you have more that are gay, and a whole lot more that are straight, but they're in touch with both their masculine and feminine side, and then you just have some that maybe born masculine naturally, and maybe born feminine naturally, but they're only aware of their feminine and masculine nature. They're not exactly aware of the fact that both of their spirits are one. Can, will they be able to adapt? Yeah, if you tell them how the right way, correctly, without confusing them. Eventually, eventually they will begin to understand that they are aware that the ones that are just strictly feminine straight men, and the ones that are just masculine straight women. Eventually, they'll realize that they are aware that they too have an all spirits, because it is the all spirits that not only makes this universe, but it not only creates this universe, but it creates the many universes within our galaxies and within the galaxies to come. Okay, and then some may not want to some may not want to some may not want to evolve. They'll just be like, I'm comfortable, being straight with having a feminine side, or I'm comfortable being straight as a girl with a masculine side, and then you may also have men who know, who are aware of their sensitive nature. It's not a feminine nature. It's more, some of these men have sensitive nature. Okay, but logically, they're very masculine and dominant. Okay, these men will have women in their lives that will help them control those overbearing that overbearing nature that they have, that overbearing consciousness that they have. These are the men of high anxiety. Okay, and they just want to control everything, dominate. Someday that will be of good use, but if you're not conscious, and if you're not careful, it can corrupt. Okay, so in order for you to have these new rainbow children in your life, you have to be conscious. You must be conscious, and you must be aware that there is a higher consciousness, because when more of these Aquarian men and women come, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because starting the year 2020, beginning the year 2020, January 1st, 2020, and also the beginning of February 1st and the 20th of the year 2020, these beings, um, they, you know, they're gonna come. They're gonna be here, and in the near future, um, not only am I gonna make music for uh, people of this time living right now, but I'm also going to be making music for them in the near future. But by that time, musically, okay, spiritually, and I mean, all right. So spiritually, I'm already a star seed, but and like musically, I'm in the hip hop stuff, the political, the philosophical, but and the I want to call it my uh musical rainbow androgynous awareness. Okay, I don't want to say straight rainbow or gay rainbow because that does not make sense and it would just cause confusion. So you know, when I get more into my fifth, sixth, and higher dimensional consciousness, I'm gonna be singing and rapping from that view. Okay, in the near future, this is a prophecy. Okay, and it's gonna get even bigger when I become a starseed musically, because I'm not there yet, but I'm going to get there, because I'm not gonna stop until the job is done, and there's gonna be others who are going to help me in this process. It may not be right now, and it may not be tomorrow or next week, and it is daggone sure not going to be not 9 years from now. You know what I'm saying? And if it will be, then hey, I say, I say, so be it, right? Okay, and so it is. So you know, it might not be like that 9 years from now, but it will it will take place in the future, and if I'm not here physically by the time that happens, uh, it will continue on, because consciousness doesn't die, it just changes form. You know what I mean? And whatever mundane consciousness that you brought out of earth and brought into the heavens, that will swirl itself and come right back down to earth and awaken everyone. Like you ever seen it be really cloudy, and like the rays, and it'll look like the rays of the sun came down from heaven. That's what it's gonna look like. Okay? Now, again, let me finish this prophecy. But before I do, let me fix myself in the chair. Okay? Alright, so we made it to an hour. Okay? Hold on, family. All right. So now, with me on the other hand, coming down. With me on the other hand, I'm a starseed indigo. So I've been told. Um, I'm one of the supernatural children, or adult, as I really should say. Is there gonna be more? Is there gonna be superhuman, feminine, straight, and masculine, straight men and women? Yes, as well as bisexual superhumans. Some of them are already here. Okay, but I'm just here to tell you that there's gonna be more added. Okay, and then also too, some of them may not come to this realm. Some may stay in the on the planets that they're on, and some will stay in the galaxies, which are the dimensions. Okay, your galaxies are dimensions. Okay, they're it's just that the it's just that what it is that the galaxies, which I'm gonna make another video on, the galaxies, or the Milky Ways, because there's more than one Milky Way. The galaxies and the Milky Ways are nothing but they're nothing but worlds being born. Okay, and what's happening is they're inside a spherical light. Okay, they're swirling around, and what it is that's nothing but, okay, the galaxies are, they are Mother Goddess's eggs, being manifested out in space. And she says yes, and she says that's very true. Okay, and how I know this is because I'm esoteric, and there's going to be more children who are esoteric like me. Okay, this is going to be the esoteric age. Okay, the Aquarian age, and then there may be a Gemini age, a Scorpio age, another Piscean age. Okay, but the next Piscean age, okay, is going to be a conscious Piscean age. Okay. I also forgot to mention that some of these beings, some of these beings are from the planet Centaurian. Now, your Centaurians are very, they are very logical and psychological people, and what I mean when I say that, what I mean when I say that, when I say logical and psychological, logical meaning, they're critiquing in a more literal sense, and then the psychological or sub-psychological is when they're critiquing in their first and second highest awareness. Okay. All right. So you are going to have children of all races come here who are going to carry an even bigger rainbow agenda. Okay? Me being here is just the start of it. Okay? I'm basically the peak of the dawn of the rainbow age. It's not the dawn of the rainbow age yet. Okay? So every 19 to 20 billion years is a period of dark awareness, and there's a period of light awareness. The dark awareness has ended. Okay? So right now we are entering into the year period of the light awareness, and that's gonna come even after I'm no longer here on Earth making videos and teaching the same stuff that I'm teaching outside of YouTube. Okay, because like I've been telling y'all, I don't switch up my story. All right, and I come from the 13 dimension. The 13 dimension is okay. Even though I was born in the 90s, and I'm a starseed. I am somewhat of a rainbow child. I will honestly and openly say that I really feel like I'm a rainbow child. Not that I was born of the 2000 age. However, it was my intuitive conscious and sub-intuitive consciousness that allowed me to pull all 144 billion consciousnesses of myself. I mean, numbers don't stop. Like they say, time is of the essence, and from my understanding, time is infinite, and time may not be and time up there might not be the same as the way that we can conceive and perceive time down here, because in the third and lower dimensions, time is a lot slower. Where up there, time is really fast. Okay, so in the in the celestial world, you know what I'm saying? Okay, like on Earth today is Thursday, but up there it can be Friday already. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I honestly believe that time um, time is not an illusion. I also believe that time also affects our it affects our, I want to say, infinite reality, because you have a finite reality and you have an infinite reality. So you know, I'm definitely new age, and the thing about me as an androgynous heterosexual, when I say that I'm an androgynous heterosexual, no, it doesn't mean that I like women and men. No, what what I'm saying is that my androgyny is of the art world. So it's like, you know, I'm naturally a guy, but you know, I can dress up like a guy and look just a little bit like a female. And then you have guys that know they're guys and just dress up totally female. Um well, no. I don't want to say that I would dress partially like a female. I let me use a more third dimensional word. Metrosexual. Okay? That would be me still identifying myself as a guy, but I'm in touch with my feminine nature. That to me, so my metrosexuality is my androgyny. I don't have to dress like a girl. You know what I mean? Because once I have, now I'm not speaking Pan African. I'm not speaking Pan African here. I'm speaking Starseed and Rainbow Child. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I, like I said, I may identify myself as a straight guy, but um my female identity, since I am a guy, is my female identity is somewhat female, but not the complete female. You know, I don't do heels. You know, I don't wear lipstick. I wear chapstick, yeah. But never lipstick. I don't polish my I don't polish my fingernails different colors. Not unless I choose to be a real rock star, not a rock star rapper like some of these rappers are today. That's not. I mean, to them that's androgyny, but for me growing up in the '90s, I know what. Yeah, me growing up in the '90s and having the consciousness of the 1950s, 60s, 70, and 80 consciousness. You know, I'm aware of what true metrosexuality and androgyny is. Okay, so alright, so we're almost at the end of this lecture. So again, let me state what the two types of androgyny are. Okay, the first type of androgyny is a male or female that is bisexual. Okay, They go the whole nine. They could be a guy, um but publicly or behind closed doors. Okay, let's keep it let's keep it let's keep it one dimensional for a second. They may be a gay guy, but behind closed doors, um, they dress up like females. That is what you call your drag queen. Okay. Let me see. And then with the females that like to dress and look like men, that is your drag king. Okay, and I love drag kings and studs, but I like the drag kings that are into men. You know what I'm saying? Those are my type of, um, yeah, yeah. I like the drag kings and the studs who are sexually attracted and sexually interested in us men. So those are the type of women that I'm attracted to. um um so what's so we're almost to the end of this lecture. So what's some other stuff about. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so I explained the 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 first definition of androgynous. Okay. Now I know people will put politically and try to socially debate me and say that yeah, they will politically and socially debate me and say, there is no second androgynous. I mean, I'm sorry. There is no first and second androgyny. Um, yes, there is, because you gotta ultra. What you have to ultra stand as a multi dimensional as a multi-dimensional and and omnidimensional omnidimensional being, is that um everything is consciousness. Okay, so consciousness uh operates and forms in many different ways. This is why you have reincarnation. Even thought reincarnates. This is why you have evolution. Okay? All right? And that logic that I just gave you just now, that's coming from my highest self, what I like to call my Holy Spirit. Okay? The soul, subconscious and super subconscious. All right? So the second definition of androgyny is Okay, the second definition of androgyny is those of who may be straight. Yeah, 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 exactly. Those of us that identify ourselves as straight. We're 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 not bi, but we have a bi-fashionable nature about ourselves. So we identify ourselves as straight, and we love you know, heterosexual sexual activity. Yes, um, but the way we but the way we but the way we dress, and the way we uh, respond when people are socializing with us is is it's biological. Meaning we're we're connecting. All right, like a woman, a woman's consciousness is like a it's like it's like a it's like a it's like it's like a it's like a Milky Way. It's constantly their thoughts are constantly spinning and swirling. Okay, and the man's consciousness is like that little marble thing that goes side to side, like tick tock, tick tock, right? But imagine that same marble thing, that marble toy thing that they have. Imagine the man operating from both his masculine and feminine side at the same time. But instead of the man's thought patterns swirling, is going left, right, left, left, right, left. Okay? So the second type of androgyny deals with those who are heterosexual, and the way they express their androgyny, for some of us, it is through expression. Okay, it is for some of us. But as a collective, we show our masculinity and our femininity through our clothes, our sense of fashion, and so we so we are we are a we are a we are a we are a biverbal and bivocal, because of our range in singing and doing 100 voices and whatnot. As maybe even having many rap styles. Who knows? But the 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 second kind of androgyny is those heterosexual men and women who express it through art and creativity, not sexuality. Okay, I hope y'all understand this, and overstand it. Okay, because this type of consciousness is needed. Okay, it's needed and it's necessary. So okay, I'm gonna repeat it one more time so y'all don't get lost in what I said. Okay, because I gave a lot of I gave a lot of astral and cosmic as well as celestial information. I'm like my subconsciousness is pulling my celestial consciousness out from the heavens of my own mind and down into the earthly realms of my physical brain. Okay, so again, the first idea of androgyny has to do with bisexual and homosexual nature. The yeah the first type of androgyny has to do with bisexual and homosexual nature. Okay, and the second idea of androgyny, the second ideology of androgyny is those of us who identify ourselves as straight, but we express both our masculinity and femininity through our artistic our artistically creative expression through our clothing. Okay, not just our behavior. Okay, so okay, like for example, right? You might have a son that's completely masculine, but he has a side of him that that loves to wear gaiters, loves to clean his fingernails when they get extremely dirty. Okay, he uses the follicle on his fingernails. Okay, that's what you call pampering and metrosexuality. That is him tapping into his feminine or his androgynous awareness, his consciousness, his nature. Okay, let him have that. These are radically rapid human beings. They'll again, like I said to you in the beginning of this video, they will listen to you. They will listen and submit to you. But once they know themselves, once they're in an age, and I mean biological age, like age 12, 13, 14, all the way to age 21 through 30 and beyond. once they know themselves consciously, you won't be able to control them anymore, because once they separate their mind from their body, it's going to be hard to control that child, because that child is happy with who he and she is. Okay, spiritually and celestially. Okay, y'all don't. y'all want to talk about the spiritual nature, but you're less aware of your celestial nature. Your fifth your fifth your fifth and sixth dimensional philosophy. That I mean, what do you think consciousness is from a mundane perception? It's just simple philosophy. The only difference is new information is added on top of old new logical information is added on top of the old logical information that you had before. You know, that's a part of change. Okay? All right. So again, let me go back to the prophecy. All right? So when you have new star seeds from planets such as Sirius, Orion, Pleiades, Arcturian, Meldeck, aka Mars, Centurion, Klingon, etc. Okay, it won't be just the age of the Aquarian men. Okay, it'll be the age of the Aquarian humans. Okay, the yeah the conscious Aquarian humans, even though you already had them back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, okay? But we're talking about highly advanced humans, okay? And I'm not talking about transhumanism with the robots and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about natural-born humans who are in tune with their subconscious and super subconscious thoughts and philosophies and ideas. Okay, when this takes place, you won't be able to stop it. It is going to confuse you, and I know this information that I'm giving you sounds scary, but I'm telling you, is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to take place. I just put this energy and this consciousness out into the universe, and right now, all the celestial consciousness are working on allowing this to take place. And they say, yes, we are. And like when it comes down to their relationships, their bonds and their unions is gonna be super strong. Okay? And as we were already told by 13 signs of astrology, that these new star seeds that are coming, they're not going to adapt to sexual nature and sexual activity the way we're adapting to it now. They're going to change that entire ball game, and is going to blow up the minds of today's humans. That like today's beings, they're gonna be like, what the, WTF? You know what I'm saying? So be prepared. That's coming. Now, as 13 Signs Astrology said, some of the people on this planet are gonna try to control them, and they are gonna try to convince them. However, it's not gonna work. It is definitely not gonna work. Okay, this planet will go. This planet will still be in it. This planet will still be the third dimension, but it's going to align itself with not just the fourth, but the fifth and higher dimensions that are in existence right now as we speak. Okay. All right. Oh, and before I forget, you will have Pan African feminine heterosexual men. You will have Pan African masculine heterosexual women. And like I said, they're androgynous too, but they're androgynous through consciousness and dress. Okay? They're still sexually attracted to straight men. Okay? The androgynous heterosexual men and women. Okay? They will also be Pan African. Okay? They would these beings will be kind of like me, both positive and aggressive Pan Africans. Okay? And but the ones I'm leaning more towards are the positive Pan Africans. And I feel like with them aligning with that consciousness, the Pan African community and nation as a whole, and as well as the Pan African home, you can't forget about the home, because if you're gonna have a nation and community built, you have to restructure and rebuild the home first. That also aligns with rebuilding the thoughts and emotions, the thoughts and emotions of the human, or the so-called God and goddess, if you will, at home. All right. So let me tell you this: the Pan African colors, red, black, and green, is also a part of the rainbow. Okay, you can't just politically and socially equate that to, you can't socially politically and lawfully equate that to just homosexuality. Consciousness has to re-evolve. All right. This is why you have the word reincarnate, because everything changes. Humans, planets, even even yeah, humans, planets, animals, even etheric and celestial consciousness itself. All right. Am I done? Oh yeah. And last thing I want to comment on: God and gay people. Let me say really quick: gay people do have a purpose here. Okay. They they are the original rainbow children, and rainbow children have been here since not not just the 2000s, but they've been here since the beginning of time. And I don't want to put anybody's name out there like that, so I'm gonna keep it to myself. But like, there are they are individuals who claim to be conscious, but they criticize homosexuals. All right, some of them criticize even heterosexuals with feminine and overly dominant masculine sides. And I want to say this: if you are an exoteric Christian, or you were raised that way, that theology, that doctrine, and that philosophy does not work. It will not work. It won't work. Because the thing about the thing about our Creator is that they do not kill people. I mean, the infinite Creator and Creatress do not kill people. Okay? Your ancestors who are worshipped as gods, like the Orishas and the Egyptians, okay, in the form of humans, they kill people. Okay? Not the Creator, because the Creator only has one character, and that is the simple fact that it is good. Okay, and it will always be good, no matter how it no matter how it is formed, and it allows itself to reform. It will always be good. It will always be light. It will always be positive. And as long as we humans exist, there will always be positivity. Just like you can't have negative criticism without positive criticism. Okay? And I'm not talking about having positive criticism, when you're coming to work being fashionably late and saying, well, you're a great guy and you do good work, but you can do better. I'm not saying it like that. Like, you got to be positively critical in all areas, because if you don't, you just end up with the illusion, and you as a human end up with the illusion and the scrutiny that this world is filled with negativity, and I have a right to say that because I experienced it, and I know you out there have experienced a similar experience that I have, just in different circumstances and situations. Everybody's situation and circumstances is not the same. Let's get that straight and narrow and overstand that right now. All right. So you know, for someone to have a negative opinion and say that gay people have no place in the spirit world, that is not godly character at all. That is human alter ego. Okay, that is not showing godly character, and not only is it that not showing it, that's not acting upon, because if you were truly a god and goddess, you would love people without the need for rules. Okay? The only laws and commandments that you should have, and I'm being religious right now. The only laws and commandments you should have are universal and celestial laws. Okay? Celestial laws they're the same as universal law, the law of change, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma, the laws of karma. Okay? And the spiritual and celestial law of non-interference. It's just like I recently learned that if someone was to die and go to the fifth or sixth dimension, you know what I'm saying? And a teacher up there was trying to teach him something. Beings, light beings in the celestial world have the right, they have the right to be taught and not to be taught something. So the spiritual laws apply to those of the celestial laws. The universal laws similarly apply to those who live in the celestial world. And as a matter of fact, the universal laws are they are what I like to call the ultra the ultra versal laws. And what ultraverse means, it simply means celestial. Okay? The only difference from it is that they are of higher frequency, higher thought, higher feeling. Okay? They just do things differently than beings that are in the astral and other forms of the spirit world. I mean, other dimensions. Excuse me. I can say forms. Other dimensions and forms of the spirit world. Okay, so you know, I respect those who say that there are no homosexuals in the spirit and celestial world, but um me me having me having the right and the divine right to not only have free will but the the liberty of difference of opinion. um I would say that homosexuals do belong in not just the spirit world but the celestial world, because one thing I know is true. Whether exoteric or esoteric, okay, is that when we transition to the life after, we all we all go back to the same the same level of consciousness, because we are first solar beings. Yeah, we are first solar beings before we are spirit and physical. Okay? So so like if so like if you so like if you're one of those, if you're that individual that believes in a God who kills people and gets angry, you know, I'm not saying that our creator can't feel like that, but you know, to hold on to those kind of emotions, those are human emotions. Those are reptilian emotions. The creator and creators can't do that, because their law is love and ultra highest standing. Love and ultra highest standing. Okay? So I'm gonna end it now because it's almost 11 o'clock. It's 10:46 Eastern time PM. Okay? Now I'm gonna end it by saying, put 3 stars in your heart, which is love, knowledge, and remember to always love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, then how in the world is anybody supposed to love you? And I'm gonna also outro this thing by saying this. Peace, black. Let me get my Star Trek finger. let me get my Star Trek fingers together. There we go. Peace, black, and galactic starseed power. I have to do it sideways, because if I do it upward, I feel like my fingers are gonna mess up. So I gotta do it sideways. All right. peace black, and galactic power to all the star seeds, light workers and light warriors, and even the dark workers as well. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all have a y'all have an ultra highest standing consciousness too. It's just hidden. Y'all are the super subconscious occultists. Okay? But y'all are the super subconscious occultists of the dark celestial world. You know what I'm saying? Alright, y'all. I'm out.